All right. Hello, everyone. We are live. Uh, Technically not scheduled to start until 9:45, so bear with us as we do a little bit of audio check, make sure that the video can show up on the live stream. Just for those of us who may be joining, we are going to be covering WWDC 2023 live. Reason being is that there, well, other than all the cool gadgets that usually come out around this time, there may be an announcement for the much anticipated new XR headset, whether it's a VR headset or a mixed reality headset. We're not quite sure. Rumored to be called the Reality Pro headset. Who knows if that will materialize? I think it's also rumored to have the xrOS from what I've read. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that we'll see something like that. So yeah, just give us a couple minutes just to make sure that we can actually hear.
Can you hear me? Testing, testing.
Yeah, I can hear you on my end. So let's see.
All right.
Okay.
I was on the live stream here on my local machine, and I could hear you
You
your
could?
intro. So I
Okay,
think,
great.
yep,
On
I think
YouTube.
we're good.
Levi, how is it looking on your end for the YouTube live stream? Are you able to see the full WWDC window?
Let's see here.
And our
So it is enough.
webcam?
It's enough of a delay. It's enough of a delay that I won't, obviously won't be able to like watch us. But
Yeah.
yeah, it looks good.
Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Looks like
Yep.
we've got 5 people logged on at the moment, and the numbers are going up. So I think it looks like we have about 20 minutes until the event started. So we're starting a little bit early because we wanted to get in a little bit of conversation and anticipation, maybe squeeze out the last few rumors that we may have heard right before the big launch. And just to set everyone's expectations, this is going to be a little bit of a live reaction video. So if you're bothered by live commentary and you just want the pure WWDC, there's plenty of other places to watch. But if you want to join here, where Levi has his own virtual reality, augmented reality development studio, I've got a XR development studio. So we've both been in the field for a while. This is our industry, and so we're pretty excited. And yeah, it might be fun to hear some thoughts from people who are very deep in the industry, and this is our livelihoods. So Levi, you put together a list of, I think, 5 to 7 things that you are guessing will happen. Do you want to go through some of them and can chat about some of those?
Yeah. So I expanded it to 10.
Oh,
Um,
10. All right.
just so we had a nice even number. Not that there was really that much more, bold predicting that needed to be done, but yeah. So I have my Apple keynote predictions here. So prediction number one, and I think we can just kind of chat about each one of them as we go. So
Yeah.
prediction number one, the headset will not have VR mode. It'll exclusively be pass
Yeah,
through.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. So the one rumor I heard was that there was going to be a little knob, which actually, honestly, that rumor sounds so outlandish that I don't even know if I believe that one. But supposedly, there's a little knob where you can transition between full VR and full AR. So if that rumor is true, that would imply there would be VR, but I've never
Yeah,
seen
this
that.
is the if yeah, let me see if I can move it into the camera here. I think
There
it's
you go.
this way. One of those guys, right?
uh,
One of the little
yeah, yeah. You just
the crowns that you see on the watch. That there would be one of those, and you would be phasing in and out of VR mode. Well, uh, technically, that's a weird thing to do. You're usually doing something in VR that would be a VR experience, or you're doing something in AR. I don't really see a lot of use cases for a blended uh, situation. I think that maybe there's something to be said where, like, if you're in an experience, but then you want to see everything around you, like, oh, I need to make sure I'm spatially aware, maybe more as a utility, you could go in and out. But it's like, in my experience with Apple's AR kit, and, I mean, we've been doing this basically since it came out. It's not optimized for VR. Like, it's not like you couldn't do VR, but ARKit is very much
Yeah.
AR,
Yeah.
And so to introduce VR, in my opinion, it would have to be a very large scoped uh introduction. Like, because it's not made for VR yet. Like, Apple's advantage is in the AR space.
Yeah.
So I think that, I mean, it's a bold prediction, right? I'm making 10 bold predictions, but I don't think that that's a crazy prediction, simply because they've never done anything VR, and anything Tim Cook has ever really expounded on has always been, we love AR, we love AR, 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 AR. Like, they don't really hype VR either. So this idea that it would be VR experiences doesn't quite, like, jive with all of the messaging that we've heard for, like, this entire time.
Yeah.
And all of the code tools that they've put out have all, they would work for VR, but they're not VR.
Yeah.
It's all AR to
Yeah.
this point. So to me, it seems like a natural iteration forward would be, it's a VR headset if you wanted to be technical about it, but I think that the future of AR is pass through, and I think that if they are also known to, like, ship computers without disk drives, phones without headphone jacks. They're very minimalist and restrictive in certain decisions, to sort of, like, like, the first iPhone didn't even have an app store, so I think that there's just there's something to be said about Apple's history in restricting usage to a very specific experience. And so that's what's behind that prediction. But I don't know, who knows? Like, I've not seen a rumor about that, so I'm gonna give myself some serious kudos if I'm right on that one.
Yep. Yep. So I wrote to you, when you wrote that to me on Slack, that I didn't think that was going to be true, but if it were true, it would be industry shattering. The reason why I said that is because I do personally believe that AR is the future, right? That's the ubiquitous future. VR will always be like, even if it's huge, it'll be like entertainment huge, like maybe Xbox huge or PlayStation huge, but never like iPhone huge or smartphone huge, right? So I think if Apple is positioning themselves as, hey, this is an AR device that you wear out in public or whatever, that would be industry shattering. So although on my end, I'm not 100% convinced it'll happen, I wish it, I do hope that it would happen. So I hope you're right. So what's number 2?
Just saying hi to Josh real quick on
Right.
YouTube. He jumped in. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Number 2, the headset will require an iPhone. That's big prediction number 2.
I think
I think
I'm on board with that, and that kind of goes along with what some of the rumors have said as well. The rumors said it needs to be attached to a puck, which makes me think, like, would it be attached to both a puck and an iPhone? That seems a little excessive. Unless the iPhone serves as the puck, maybe. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that the iPhone will be a wireless processor. I think the headset itself will probably have like an M2 or some variant. I think that it'll be optimized for gathering input and sending it out, receiving input and displaying it. I don't think that it's going to be heavy in the processing portion of things. And so I think that they're going to use their AirPlay protocols and those types of things to essentially offload the large amount of compute that's required for spatial. And yeah, so I think that the iPhone won't be like I believe the puck thing is probably true. Apple's, I mean, when I got my first iPad, there was an arm patch, right? The Velcro around the arm, and you slide it in, and then you're jogging with your iPod on your shoulder. I could see a puck like thing. Maybe it's not a circle, maybe it's a rectangle, maybe it's, I don't know, like, so puck is sort of a general term for a detached battery bank. I do believe that it will have so my next prediction number 3, is that the headset will have an 8-hour battery life if it's attached to the puck, and maybe like 1 or 2 when it's not attached to the puck. Yeah, and I think that
really?
keeps the
so
puck,
a built-in battery. Yeah.
I think that it'll have a really small built-in battery that allows you, because it has to be enough basically for you to unplug the puck, set it, grab a different puck, put it in, and not just be off. So I think that they'll have 30 minutes to 2 hours of a battery life without the puck.
Okay.
And then the attaching the puck will extend that. And then essentially the iPhone is just going to be sort of like a mandatory background processor of sorts.
Okay.
A lot of stuff for the watch was done on the iPhone for a while.
Yeah.
And I just think it's going to be similar. I think there's going to be a similar flow where you do a lot on an iPhone to get it set up, to download things, to manage certain aspects of it. And then over time, they'll shift those things over like they've done with the watch. It took them a while to get to where they had a 3G, like a web or cellular connected Apple Watch. It was something that people pined for years. Yeah. And I think we're going to see something similar where it won't have access to any type of internet without a phone, is my prediction there.
Yeah.
So that's prediction 2 and 3. The require the phone for anything data connected, including Wi-Fi. I don't think it'll even have Wi-Fi. I think that it's going to be using an iPhone or a Mac, but at minimum an iPhone to be able to like download apps and do data things.
Great. The 8-hour battery life, I think, is particularly interesting because that would automatically make it the longest lasting standalone headset on the market. Although it is arguable if it's plugged into a phone, is it truly standalone? I would say it truly is, because my definition of standalone is that it's not connected to a PC specifically, right? You have PC VR. Kind of like the two major categories are PC VR and then standalone, like whether it's AR, mixed reality, or headsets. But yeah, 8 hours would immediately make it more than a Quest 2, more than a Quest Pro, more than a Quest 1, more than a HoloLens, more than a Magic Leap, more than a Vive Focus 3. So yeah, I think that would be pretty significant.
Yep. Yeah, 1 hour detached from a puck, I think you could accomplish just about anything. Meetings, a quick walk, so you'll be able to go out and about, I think, without having to be tethered. But then like for longer workflows, workstations, etc., you could just set your puck on your desk and it'll be charging maybe even on like a Qi powered, type deal.
That'd be cool.
And yeah, so I think that, we'll see something similar maybe to like the larger inductive charging disc that you can get that you like would set your watch on, or you would set your headphones on. I think it'll kind of just fit in with that family of charging solutions.
Before you cover the other 7 or 8, the thought that I really want to get from you is that like everyone knows me and everyone has known you now for quite some time because of our podcast, but we're both, we both use Google services, right? But on the other hand of that, I'm more in the Microsoft ecosystem and you're more in the Apple ecosystem, right? So I've always been like, I use a bunch of Google stuff, but I'm also more on the Microsoft side. I use Windows, I use the Surface, and Office 365. So I'm fairly deep in the Microsoft side, and I don't, other than an iPad that I occasionally dust off to use for ARKit projects. I don't have an
Right.
Apple Watch. I don't have an iPhone. I don't have a Mac. But you are very deep in the Apple ecosystem, and you have been, since I've known you, really. So I feel like
Yeah.
this Apple releasing a headset that's on the Apple ecosystem is fairly big. So as an Apple fan and a big Apple ecosystem guy yourself, like, what's the significance of Apple releasing the headset versus other companies?
So, yeah, I jailbroke my first 3GS, right? Like I've been an iPhone and Apple user for a long time. My first MacBook Pro, I think I got in 2015. So 8 years basically of being in that what you would then call an ecosystem, right? Because it was iPhone before that, but then that's when I finally was like I started branching out, and now I mean I'm sitting here with my iPad over here, my phone here, my watch. Like I'm an unabashed, unashamed Apple fanboy when it comes to uh, hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not a huge fan of Xcode. I don't like the development environment that they provide. I like I as you know, like we are deep into Unity because of its multi-platform
Yeah.
applications, and so I think that from a developer perspective, I'm a little bit nervous because I think that other developers would come out and just be like fully ready to go, all in Unity's like fully supported. They're developing in Unity, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like that there was a big I don't know if you want to call it tug of war, but like there was a lot of complexity and confliction between MRTK and what Unity offered.
Mm-hmm.
It was very fragmented and not a lot of stuff worked very well together. That gave us an advantage because we were good at figuring all that out and making it
Mm-hmm.
work together.
Yeah.
So to that end, we're probably going to race out ahead again because we have experience in that area. If they don't come in fully supporting something like Unity or what have you, but from a hardware perspective, I feel like I may or may not have use for it right now. We'll see what all it can do, what the specs are, etc. I have a HoloLens 2. I've got a couple Quests. I have a Quest 2. Like I have the headsets. I don't put them on. I don't need them. I don't like. It's not like when my wife and I go watch shows at night, or the kids are eating dinner while we got storybots on or whatever. Like that, the life for me just doesn't exist inside of a closed off environment. You know, so the utility of the headset is going to be really important, I think, for me to really get excited about it. It has to do some things that they're like, oh, okay, or
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize, or because like if it's passive and they can see my eyes and I'm with people, that kind of stuff. Okay, it might be a little weird
So
looking, but
you read the New York, was it New York Times or Forbes article about how that's like nightmare fuel, just them?
yeah, nightmare fuel, the digital eyes.
Yeah, that's the rumor. Okay, so I don't know. From some of the things I read, they said you would be able to see like people's, like a representation of somebody's eyes, but more like not actual eyes, more like robot eyes, like not even like your skin color or anything, just like digital like pixels. Which I think that might be okay. But if it was like truly like streaming like your actual eye, like a video of your actual face, that would be nightmare fuel. Unless they did it
It might be
super well,
weird.
you know?
Yeah, it's got to have some depth and like, Google's what is it, Project Starlight, where like it gives a real 3D representation of like a person there. Like, there's
Yeah.
got to be something that makes
Yeah.
it a little. But it's like, are we stuck in this weird uncanny valley where like it is
Yeah.
just nightmare
Yeah.
fuel?
Because could you go to a party where like your face is completely covered, but that people are talking to you and not really seeing your face, seeing a virtual, like, I don't know, like I
No.
feel like that's not, we're not there. Like, I don't know if I ever want to get there, but we're definitely not there
Yeah.
right now. I don't feel like that's the solution, right? I feel like it has to be transparent lenses. Now, I would say if you are outdoors, if it's an outdoor party in the daylight and you're wearing what looks like sunglasses, that's fine, right? They're AR headsets. You're looking at everything through pass-through. But for other people who might not be tech savvy, who wouldn't know the difference, they'd be like, oh yeah, this guy's just wearing sunglasses like me, right? I feel like that's perfectly fine. So I feel like something that could pass as sunglasses is fine. But you wouldn't wear sunglasses indoors, right? And so it's like, could it
But it's still a precedent.
Yeah.
I think that the sunglasses thing is a precedent, right? So like, I think that because you could wear them in and out, like I think they... Oh, we're starting.
I hear some music. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can lower the volume of that
I just lowered mine, so I don't want to yell over it, right? Okay, let me just plow through these real quick so that I get credit for them if I'm right.
Yeah, feel free to talk. I'm going to figure out how to lower the volume on this.
Okay, the headset will be less than 50% the size and weight of the Quest 2.
Okay.
Because of all the stuff that they're offloading. The headset won't have its own audio, but will require AirPods for audio.
Okay.
Apple will spend too much time marketing it as a monitor and display device. I think that's going to be like, this is what it's for, is displays for bigger.
Why do you say too much time? Do you feel like that's not
it's
what
going to be? It's going to essentially be the highlight for them, is that it's a display. Like, I think that that's really going to be what they push is display functionality.
I think,
as far as utility goes.
I think we're starting here. Are we? No? Never mind.
Apple, okay. 6 or 7. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 7. Apple doesn't announce any AI-related news, and they poke fun at it as though Siri has been an industry leader in a super cringy way that totally lacks self-awareness. It's a long prediction on that one. Yeah, they're going to be like, we've already been in AI forever, and then they're just not going to have a large language model. No cool AI stuff, I don't think. Maybe some improvements in occlusion.
Have you ever had the feeling of like trying, like after ChatGPT, trying Siri or Google Home or Alexa, and you're like, wow, it's so stupid.
Yes.
Like immediately, it's almost like, what happened? Like, you know, the device itself didn't change, but after you experience like true AI, and then you go back to the Home Assistant, you're like, whoa, like I can't ask it anything.
Yep. Yeah. So I think they really like, if they announced AI news today instead of headset, it would probably be way better for them, but they're announcing a headset, so we think so. But yeah, my prediction is that they're going to be they're going to try to flex on their Siri nonsense.
All right, we're starting. We're starting, Levi.
Okay, here we go.
Starting out with a little bit of a trailer.
Uh-oh.
Don't
lost his
fly away. The light comes to paint where you lie. And I hope that you feel it. There's no time to waste. Just take me to where we collide.
He's really nervous about this bubble. What do we think this represents here? What's this bubble represent?
Their whole Apple logo for WWDC was based on this iridescent bubble.
Yeah.
So where are they going with it?
Okay, so he's riding the bubble now.
Looks a little inappropriate.
Yeah, a little bit. Dream it, chase it, code it, and then
Okay.
what with it? Okay. I guess ride it.
Okay, here we go.
Dream it, chase it, code it, ride
Good
it.
morning. Welcome to WWDC. And welcome to Apple Park for this very special day of announcements about our latest technologies and platforms. We love to see our amazing developers dream up big ideas and bring those ideas to life in the incredible apps they create. It's remarkable to think that this year marks the 15th anniversary of the App Store, which changed everything. Together with the iPhone, developers' apps have helped create entirely new industries, enrich the lives of our users, and change the world. We are committed to providing developers with resources, tools, and opportunities to help them do their amazing work. One of these important resources is our Worldwide Developers Conference. We are excited to kick things off with this morning's announcements. Our teams are continuing to innovate, creating breakthrough experiences for our customers. Driven
like
by
that
the
black
deep
screen there that
integration of
cut out.
hardware,
I
software,
don't know if you
and
noticed that, but
services,
that's
these
on the live
experiences
stream as
deliver
well.
the magic
We're
that
missing
comes when
video.
using our products. It's something only Apple can do. Today, we're going to make some of our biggest announcements ever at WWDC. We'll be
That's it.
talking about the future of our incredible software platforms, as well as introducing some exciting new products. So to get it started, I'd like to hand it over to John to talk about the Mac.
All right.
I'm predicting that there will not be one more thing. I think that they'll just announce it, not as a one more thing, which will be sad because I want one more thing.
Yeah.
And I also think that they're going to punt on any large iOS features until iOS 18.
Transformed by the transition to Apple Silicon, with industry-leading performance, new capabilities,
a 2.5 hour keynote.
battery life.
That's
2.5
Silicon
hours?
has also enabled developers
What did I
to
sign
take
up
their
for?
work further than ever and do
no.
things that simply weren't possible before. And its power-efficient performance enables us to create new systems we could only dream of making in the past, like the amazing 13-inch MacBook Air with M2. With its incredible performance, brilliant display, all-day battery life, and striking design, it's our most loved Mac. And it's also the world's best-selling laptop. Well, today, we have even bigger news to share on another product made possible by Apple Silicon. Here it is.
Nice. By the way, Levi, you are much more up to date on iPhones and the Macs, and so you would better appreciate the significance of some of the announcements today. So feel free to chime in. If you see anything notable or noteworthy, feel free to chime in and give your commentary on that.
Will do.
Big.
Introducing the 15-inch MacBook Air. It's the world's best 15-inch laptop. And here's Kate to tell you all about it.
Yeah, this is a
The new
pointless
Air
laptop.
has everything you could want in a 15-inch laptop. It starts with a design that's astonishingly thin and light, yet feels incredibly solid and durable. It's only 11.5 millimeters thin.
If you want
making
something
it the
small to
world's
carry
thinnest
around, you don't want a
15-inch
15-inch.
laptop.
If
And
you're gonna
it's
go that
easy
big,
to
you just go
carry around
with the
at
Pro so
just
that you have
over
the
3
power.
pounds.
I'm
It
not a
features
huge fan of
MagSafe
this.
charging, 2 Thunderbolt ports, and a headphone jack for versatile connectivity.
I think Julie's
And it
MacBook
comes
Air
in
is
four
or no,
gorgeous
she had a
finishes,
MacBook Air. She actually
including
switched to the
Midnight
small
and Starlight.
Pro. So yeah, I don't know
It has
about
a
that.
brilliant liquid retina display. With an
Josh is
expansive
saying in the comments,
15.3 inch
there's no
screen
headset, it's
that's
just the Mac.
surrounded by thin 5mm
Yeah.
wafers, so you can see even more of
I
your
don't know,
content.
Josh. I think
And
it's
with up to
coming. We'll
500
see.
nits of brightness and support for 1 billion colors.
You guys have to
Every
wait.
According
They,
to-
looks
they never
remarkably
announce the
rich and
fun stuff
vibrant.
first. They always
It
wait
has
to
a
the end
great
to announce the
1080p
fun stuff.
camera for video calls.
I will
along
note
with
that
a
they
3 mic
didn't
array,
give us
so you
the
come
typical
through
15
loud and
minutes
clear.
of
And the new Air
like
sounds
billions
awesome.
of this
With 6
and this new
speakers,
store in
including
that
force
in San
canceling woofers,
Francisco
it
and this
delivers
new,
immersive
they do a lot of
spatial audio.
nonsense
Uh-huh.
announcements usually
All
at
of
the
this is
beginning, and they
enabled
didn't do
by the
any of that
M2
today.
chip,
So maybe they
which
will
delivers
keep it
amazing
short.
performance
Okay.
and battery life. In fact, The new Air is 12 times faster.
Would you believe I've watched
Fastest
every single
Intel-based
keynote
MacBook
since
Air.
they've been
And it gets
streaming
an
them?
astonishing
I've never missed one.
18 hours of battery life. So what makes the
You've
new
never
Air
missed one?
the world's best
No.
15-inch laptop? Well,
The last like
15-inch
5 have been
PC
really
laptops
depressing
are
though, because
full
every
of
time we're like,
trade-offs
oh,
between
there's a
performance,
headset, and then there's
display
not.
resolution, battery life, and design. When compared to the best-selling 15-inch PC laptop with a Core i7 processor, MacBook Air is up to twice as fast, and its display is twice the resolution and 25% brighter. Even with better performance and a better display, you still get up to 50% more battery life than on the PC.